San Francisco hotels that served as pandemic homeless shelters continue seeking millions in damages from the city. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, remember, everybody said, you got to put everybody in their own separate room. Well, that's what they did. And now it's going to cost the city literally millions and millions of dollars, not because of housing people necessarily in those rooms, but the damage that those people did while they were staying in those rooms. I know, shocking, right? All right, let's get into it. Let's see what the deal is. The full accounting of what it cost the city of San Francisco to provide emergency shelter in the form of hotel rooms to homeless individuals during the height of the pandemic is still likely many months away. But now there's the question of what actual damage was done inside these hotels and how much should the city pony up for it. The assessments of actual damage inside hotels like the Hotel Union Square and the Tilden Hotel, which have filled millions of dollars in damage claims following the end of their use as shelter-in-place, SIP hotels. It's still somewhat opaque. Opaque meaning, can't really tell. Just not really sure what the deal is, right? But the Chronicle now reports that while there may be damage suits pending from 4 hotels and counting, a city agency has already recommended a payout north of $5 million to settle just one of them. One of these. And there's multiple of these. We learned in May that multiple hotel owners were coming after the city for damages caused by individuals who lived in their rooms for months between 2020 and 2021, and this was hardly surprising. This isn't surprising for any of us, is it, that are reasonable? No, it's just one of those things where, okay, well, we've got the pandemic, we think we need to put everybody in a room, but actually in reality, they would have been way better off in their tents, right? Outside, ventilation, all of that. That's why we never had much in the way of crazy Rona numbers coming out during the pandemic of people in the homeless encampments. We thought that would just be, well, once that catches fire in there, it's just going to run wild, right? That just didn't happen, did it? And everybody's like, that's weird. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Yeah, go out and get the jab. Yeah, make sure you do that. Now, Supervisor Aaron Peskin puts it in an understatement to the Chronicle. When we rapidly housed 3,700 people, we were aware that some of them would be tough customers. I mean, we've talked about this. It's like, okay, so those people are, a lot of them just aren't mentally stable enough to the point where they can kind of manage their own lives. We knew what was going to happen, didn't we? And it was just like, all right, have you seen how they live out there? Well, when you move them indoors, got the same deal going on, right? And that's literally what's going on. And now, fine taxpayers of San Francisco, they're going to foot the bill on some massive, massive repair and renovation costs. It remains to be seen what litigation will come out of the $5.6 million damage claim by the Hotel Union Square. The city initially offered $400,000 for the damage repairs. I'll let you guys budget to at least get the holes out of the drywall, but painting, texture, any of that stuff, no can do. $400,000, that's what we're offering. But fast forward to this month, and the Chronicle reports that members of the city's government audit and oversight committee met in closed session to consider a recommendation for the city's Human Services Agency to settle the claim for some $5.3 million. Keep in mind, this is one claim at one hotel. Yeah, we're going to need $5 million to fix up all these hotel rooms, or they've already made repairs because apparently they're still going. Most of the folks are back out on the streets that were taken care of during the pandemic. They're back out on the streets. They're doing their thing. Now we've got to settle up. Fine citizens of San Francisco, you guys are going to settle up. That's going to be an expensive deal, right? By the way, I'm down in Oklahoma. It is Oklahoma City. I'm at my parents' house. We did big Thanksgiving yesterday, and so I got to record a couple because the news doesn't stop, does it? No, we've got important stuff to cover. So this is day after. I'm recording this to you on Black Friday. Whew, Black Friday. Is that even a thing anymore? I mean, I know it is, but I just didn't even think about it. It was like, but I've never been, oh my gosh, let's prepare for our Black Friday celebration. Let's get up at 3 a.m. and be in line at Kmart at 4 a.m. so I can get that 72-inch television for $100 off. It just never seemed like a deal to me. Plus, I'd probably just rather do it on, what is it, Cyber Monday? Yeah, Cyber Monday. Do it online and have somebody drop it off on my front porch. Multiply that settlement, the $5.3 million settlement we're talking about. Multiply that settlement by at least 4, talking 20 plus million. And that's with the Tilden Hotel, the good hotel, the Hotel Vertigo, not vertical, vertical, also have made similar claims. The Tilden's was $6.5 million, and we don't know what the Chicago-based owner of the latter two was seeking. And the city is looking at a bill north of $20 million for just repair, not for the renting of the hotel rooms, just repair. The Chronicle is pegging it at least $10 million. However, the real numbers seem likely to be far higher, with 25 hotels participating. And as the paper notes, some of these hotels only recently began winding down operations. They were still housing people, from COVID. I mean, so much of this stuff in Seattle, we just literally, October 31st, Halloween, we sunsetted the eviction moratorium, meaning landlords can now go after folks that haven't been paying their rent and finally go through the eviction process. And that's basically November 1 of 2022. And how long ago was the pandemic raging? Yeah, it's been a while, right? The Tilden Hotel remains closed to the public, but the other 3 have reported they're open for regular hotel guests. So presumably most damages have been fixed, and there's a question mark at the end of that. We don't really know what the scenario is. Maybe it's for repairs moving forward. Maybe it's for repairs that we've already had, contractors come in and bid and they're working on, but $20 million. This would be in addition to the here's the big number, the over $200 million already spent on these hotels. $200 million. So it's another $20 million, another 10%. Just throw it on my IOU, right? Just put it on the tab. We'll be good. Though San Francisco is reimbursed for much of these costs by FEMA and state funding. So, hey, we're spreading it out from the citizens of San Francisco to the citizens of the United States, because we all pay into FEMA, right? Yeah, and state funding. So all you citizens of California, you guys can know, you can, be rest assured and be really comforted by the fact that your taxpayer dollars are covering not only the original cost of putting these folks up, but the damage that they cost. Yeah. And nobody seems to be batting an eye. There's no repercussions at all. Yeah, it's just what we're doing. We're just going to pay. And as the Chronicle reports today, there are still 297 people in these special hotel rooms being paid for by the city in undisclosed hotel properties. The city was on the hook for at least $20 million to extend the program as of last fall, which was not covered by state and federal grants. 2,288 rooms across 25 hotels in 2020. Call it 2,300 rooms across 25 hotel sites in 2020. And this has been one of the big topics, if we've got hotel rooms that are unused, hey, let's go ahead and just house some homeless people in them. That is literally one of the things that state of California, or it was the city of LA, maybe the city of LA proposed. All right, by 2:00, you got to let us know if your hotel rooms are being used, because if they're not, we're going to bring in some homeless people and we're going to shelter them there. This is how we're going to handle, not having enough micro housing or not having the ability to really control our public areas, our public parks, our public streets, our public sidewalks. So we're just going to put them in private hotels, and we're going to fund them through city, state, federal resources, and we're going to have homeless folks next door to people paying regular tab. How's that going to work? That is not. There's just no way. So, because this is a prime example of what happens when you take people who are getting something for free, and they're either on drugs or they're mentally unstable, and they just tear the crap out of hotel rooms. What did you expect would happen? This is exactly what we thought would happen, and it did. And now, San Francisco and other taxpayers, we're all going to get an opportunity to help pay this really large tab. 200 and how many million is it? Call it 220? Let's round it up to a quarter billion and call it good, right? In terms of lives protected, homelessness ended, we still consider it a major success. That's how this article ends. Okay, all right. All right, well, I'm just gonna let that one stand on its own. $250 million later. And we've got a few people that, yeah. Okay, there we are. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up in the next one. Bye for now.